Owala water bottles have been blowing up lately, even my grandma has one. But I've had one question on my mind. Is Owala actually worth the hype? So instead of just reviewing it, I'm doing something different. For the next 7 days, I'm only allowed to drink water from an Owala bottle. If I slip up even one sip from anything else, I'll destroy the Owala in a brutal durability test. And every day during the challenge, I'll be putting it through real-world tests to see if it actually deserves all the attention and your money. This all started when my grandma got an Owala Freesip. She said it was the best bottle she'd ever used. And after that, I started seeing them everywhere. At the gym, at the pool, even at the grocery store. I couldn't escape it. So I did some research, and that's when I found the Owala Freesip Sway. The exact kind of bottle I needed after my old one broke. So let's head to Target and pick one up. Alright, so we're at Target, and I came to Target instead of buying it online because they didn't have the color I want online, but somehow they have it in store. So let's go ahead and pick up the water bottle. Right here, I was yapping about how I'm not getting a normal Owala and instead getting a Sway. The color I wanted, sleek, looks light blue online, but in store it's white, so I ended up going with black. Goods acquired. Alright, so we're back with the Owala water bottle right here. And maybe wondering, like, this is not like a Owala. It's because this is their newer version, the Owala Sway. And I'll explain why I got this one over the normal one on day 3. So stick around for that. And it says easy to clean. So you know what that means. The first test before I use it is going to be the clean test. And in this test, I'm going to time myself how long it takes to clean the Owala water bottle. And then I'm going to rate 1 to 10 how easy it is to clean it.
3, 2, 1, go!
Alright, so for the clean test, this is how long it took to clean the bottle. So out of 10, for easy to clean, I'm going to give it an 8. It's pretty easy to clean and definitely wasn't really hard at all. But now, as soon as I sip this bottle for the first time, I'm not allowed to drink from any other water cup or bottle. Yeah, I really like it so far. Let's try it for the first time, Freesip, and see what it's all about. 3, 2, 1. That's actually kind of crazy. Let's try the chug now. The chug is a little bit weird because of that one little like straw area, but it's just like a little water bottle. Honestly, I really like it so far, and I can't wait to do the rest of the test. So I'll see you when it's day 2. Alright, so it's day 2, and with a new day comes a new test. And today's test is the soda test. And I know a lot of people, including me, don't just use their water bottles and tumblers for water. They also might go to QT or someplace and put soda in it as well. So let's go ahead and test that out. Before the test, please subscribe. These videos take a lot of time and effort to make, plus I'm about to get monetized on this channel and it helps out. But enough yapping, back to the test. Alright, so we're here for the soda test. I don't have actual soda, I only have club soda and flavoring. So see how well it actually is easy, like how easy it is to mix it in the bottle. I already have ice in it. And the reason I'm doing the soda test in the first place is because some bottles and stuff just don't work well with soda, like some straws. Like, they're just weird for soda and it gets unfizzy, if you know what I mean. So we're gonna see how well this works with it. We're gonna put some flavoring in there. And we're gonna mix it around and see how well it actually works with the spout and then the Freesip straw. Alright, so normal. Tastes like normal soda. Let's go ahead and try it with the straw and see if it still stays fizzy or if it's not. It tastes a little bit less fizzy than if you just drink it straight up, so let's try the chug now. Yeah, it's weird. The chug actually, like, keeps it more fizzy than the straw. Yeah, the straw is definitely not that fizzy. But honestly, don't use the straw for this. Use the chug. And I'm going to rate it out of 10 for how good it is for soda. Honestly, it's pretty mid. I'll give it like a 6 out of 10 for soda. Just make sure you use a chug instead of the straw. Right here is more of a mini test, the buffet test. The Owala definitely had enough water to last the whole buffet, so I give it a 10 out of 10. Also, if you made it this far, comment big back and I will reply to your comment. Alright, so it's day 3, and before today's test, let me explain the difference between the Owala Freesip and the Owala Sway. Now, this bottle is what made Owala really popular, mainly because of the fact that this little lock turns into a handle. It's really cool, it keeps it locked in it, or it could be a handle. And then when you open it up, and you see a little Freesip inside, basically that means there's a straw right here, and you can either suck through the straw, or you can chug through the opening. That's what made it popular. Alright, so as you can see, the main difference right here is pretty much the handles on both. So right here, the handle is also the lock here, but in this one, has a separate handle. It's way bigger, fit my whole hand here, and it kind of moves around like this, so it's super easy to carry it. That's why it's called the Sway. And then also back here is the lock. Instead of being on the handle, you can slide it to lock it so I can't open it. The next part is that the threads right here, which is basically how you screw it on. The threads are in the outside right here, which makes it super hard to put ice in the side and kind of like clean it. But here on the Sway, the threads are on the inside right here. Threads are in the inside, and then on the outside of the top, which makes this easier to clean and this easier to clean and add ice to, which is another reason that I got it. But the last main difference between these two is the taper design. The Sway is tapered, which basically means it kind of goes inward at the bottom, which makes it easier to clean it, add ice, and fit it into cup holders and stuff. But this one is straight down. Alright, so the main reasons I chose the Sway over the original Freesip is because of its taper design, which allows me to add ice and clean it easier, and the handle, which is way better than this one. Today's test is a fit test, and in the fit test, I'll see how well the Owala Sway fits in several different backpacks and cup holders. This test is very important because in many water bottles that have a larger capacity, such as the Owala Sway holding 30 ounces, you usually compromise the ability to fit it into backpacks and cup holders well since it's larger size. But hopefully the Owala's tapered design will allow it to fit better, so let's go ahead and find out. For the first part of the fit test, I have two backpacks. I have an Adidas backpack right here, and then a Mateen backpack right here. Right here you can see the pockets like aren't that big. Alright, so it goes down like almost halfway, which is pretty good. It might fall out, but I don't think it should fall out that much. If I turn it upside down and shake it, it might fall out a little bit. This one is less stretchy and more like fit. And this one pretty much fits perfectly. It's really snug, and like literally there's like no room in between, if you can see. This is honestly like a perfect size bottle for this. This is not gonna fall out no matter what you try to do. And honestly, for the backpack part of this test, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. This fits very well in the backpacks, and I'm kind of surprised how well it does. Alright, so now it's time for the car fit test. This is a Toyota Prius, if you guys are wondering. And the cup holders are pretty small in this car. So let's see if it fits in 3, 2, 1. Let's try the other cup holders. Alright, these cup holders also look pretty small, but hopefully it should fit. That's awesome. This is why the taper design is so good. It allows you to fit in almost every single cup holder possible. Alright, for the second car test, I have a Toyota Sienna right here. Let's go ahead and check. But this new Owala should fit in every single cup holder I have here. This one, okay, it's not fitting in the smaller one, unfortunately. Alright, these ones in the back are notoriously small, and I can barely fit anything in here. Let's see if this bottle fits. So for the car test, I honestly give it a 7 out of 10. It's going to fit in most cup holders, but for some smaller ones, it may not work. It's day 4 and time for the next test, the insulation test. So I have 8 ounces of water in each bottle right now, and I'm going to add 5 ice cubes to each one. Then after an hour, I'm going to weigh how much ice is left to see how well each bottle insulated the water and kept the ice from melting. Now that the ice cubes are in all the bottles, I'll see you guys in an hour.
1 hour later.
Alright, so the timer just went off, so it's time to weigh how much ice is left in each one. So let's go ahead and strain the ice out and weigh how much is left. Strain it right here, so I'm going to strain out all the ice and see how much is left. Alright, so we got about 5. You can see all 5, but some of them are smaller than others. So let's go ahead and weigh how much. We got 1.2 ounces, as you can see right here. 1.2 ounces of ice in the S-Tominaga bottle. Alright, so I reset the scale, as you can see here. And now we're going to do the corksicle. Let's go ahead and dump it out and see how much ice is left. So as you can see, there is a good amount of ice. So 2.3, I know this one, the corksicle, keeps my water super cold usually. Now it's time for the main event, the Owala. Let's see how much ice is left in here. I'm gonna do a little bit of shake test. Gonna dump it out. We have 5 ice cubes. They look decent in size, but some of them are a little bit smaller. Let's see how much it weighs. 1.6. But honestly, for the insulation test, I think I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. It is decent. Definitely not like top tier, but it's still very good for just your everyday activities. Honestly, only drinking water from an Owala bottle has been easier than I thought it would be, except for yesterday during the insulation test. But before I reveal today's test, let me just thank you for watching this far. Alright, so day 5's test is the spill test. Owala claims to have a leak-proof design, which is a huge advantage for water bottles with a straw. All my old water bottles with straws would always leak, and I really hated it, but hopefully Owala's leak-proof design should fix that. Alright, so I have the water bottle right here. It's literally full to the brim of water. I'm gonna unlock it. So right here, before we actually start, you can see the little rubber seal right here, which allows it to pretty much stay leak-proof. And just to make sure it can actually spill real quick, I'm gonna see if it spills. As you can see, it's gonna spill water if it leaks, so see if it tries to leak. But I literally shake as much as I can, figure out. It's pretty good on that. But this test isn't just called the leak test, it's called the spill test. So we're gonna see how easily it spills as well. So let's get to that. Alright, so for this part of the spill test, I'm gonna have the water bottle open because let's just say you're walking around drinking water. The little bit of water is already spilled out though. So it's gonna spill out a little bit. If you're just turning around really fast. Let's see if I'm walking with the handle, if it's gonna spill at all. The handle really keeps it super well. Alright, so for the last part of the spill test, the water bottle is open right now. And I'm gonna trip over the curb. It's not really gonna spill. Like I have it all the way tilted like this. It's not gonna spill that often though, especially if you're using the handle. If you use the handle, it's gonna work very well. So honestly, for the spill test, I give it a 10 out of 10. So it's day 6 and today's test is the movement test. I personally hate it when a water bottle is really awkward and hard to move around with, but the Owala Sway's handle and design should fix that problem, so let's put it to the test. Alright, so first I'm just going to be walking down this way. It's not like too heavy or too like bulky, so it's just going to walk and flow very well, and honestly I think that's why they call it the sway, because it just feels very good and kind of sways with you, and it kind of is like natural. It feels natural like how a water bottle should. But honestly, I'm not seeing enough movement. So now we're gonna run with this and see how well it works. I haven't done this yet, so this is gonna be my first time running with this. Go! Honestly, when running, it kind of just stays still because of the handle and the way it works, which is really cool. For the movement test, I give the Owala a 9 out of 10. It's very good. And if you're moving around a lot, this should do the trick for you. The final day of the challenge is here, and I still haven't failed it yet. So before I tell you my thoughts on the Owala and if you should get one, we gotta put it through one last test, the speed test. If you're in a hurry, you don't want your water bottle slowing you down, so in this test, we're gonna see how long it takes to fill up the Owala Sway, half with ice, and the rest with water. So let's get to it. Alright, I have the empty Owala right here. And as soon as I pick it up, the timer is going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. It's not going to take too long. As soon as I screw it all the way back on and put it down, the timer is up. So half ice, the rest water. Now you do have to break the ice up with the straw, unfortunately. And it's not a very super sturdy straw. Alright, time. The time will be on screen. But honestly, this is pretty fast. And compared to my other water bottles, which don't have the big opening, this is way quicker to just fill up. So for the speed test, I give it a 9 out of 10. If the straw was a little bit sturdier, it'd be easier to like break the ice up before I screw it on. But honestly, this one is just very good and very quick to fill up. And for the rest of day 7, I only used the Owala for water. The challenge was over, and I had succeeded. It's finally time to answer the question I've been asking all week. Is Owala actually worth the hype? After spending 7 days drinking only from the Owala Sway, my answer is a strong yes. This bottle nails everything I want. It's easy to use, feels great to carry, and the quality is legit. But should you get one? If you want a bottle that keeps your water cold, doesn't leak, and has a built-in straw, I think Owala is a no-brainer. Personally, I think the Sway is even better than the original Freesip, but either one is a great pick. I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by 2026, so if you enjoyed this video, tap that subscribe button. It really helps. Click the video on screen to watch me build my dream PC. Jesus loves you, and I hope to see you again soon.